This is how most new kinds of apples are born these days, far from an orchard in a lab. Scientists at Washington State University have been on a quest to breed the perfect apple for more than 20 years, and they finally think they've got it. The Cosmic Crisp hit the market on December 1st. This is the largest launch of an apple in American history, coming after $500 million in investment, $10 million in marketing, and 2 decades of breeding and testing. We take a look at what it took to engineer what's being called the perfect apple, and why some hope it'll save Washington State's apple industry. In the late 90s, Washington State's apple industry was on the brink of collapse. That's because more than 100,000 acres of trees grown were for an apple that was losing popularity, the Red Delicious. Once a star of the supermarket, this apple is now criticized for its bland taste and mealy texture. By the end of the decade, farmers had lost about $760 million in 3 years. That's when Bruce Barrett stepped in.
I eat an apple every day.
And began breeding what would become the Cosmic Crisp. The goal was to have a fruit that was just as beautiful as the Red Delicious, but also had a sweet taste and a nice crunch.
We had all our eggs are in one basket, Red Delicious. That's not good economics. It's just not good. If we grow more and more of something that people like less and less, that's not a good business model either.
Since then, growers have increased production of other varieties, but the Red Delicious still counts for almost a third of apple tree acreage in the state today. To successfully take its place, the Cosmic Crisp needed to last at least 12 months, about 6 months longer than the Red Delicious. That's because the apple industry's Super Bowl is the fall season, when farmers harvest nearly all of the apples consumed throughout the rest of the year. So the goal is to find an apple that tastes as good in March as it does in October. Which is why Barrett chose the Honeycrisp and the Enterprise as the Cosmic Crisp's parents, for their crispness and storage qualities, respectively. But even then, it took thousands of trials and errors.
Take a bite. Soft, terrible. 10,000 seeds, and those seeds grew into trees, and we looked through 10,000 of them, and a couple showed promise, and the one that showed the most promise was Cosmic Crisp.
In the first few years of breeding, the Cosmic Crisp seeds grew into seedlings, and by year 4, the seedlings turned into trees and produced their first apple fruits. And by 2008, though the Cosmic Crisp didn't even have a name, it had promising characteristics.
The selection that is now named Cosmic Crisp was one of, I think, 10 selections. So that meant that they were just moving into a point where we would get bulk volumes of fruit that would enable us to do some of that really in-depth evaluation of the fruit.
In the next 11 years, that in-depth evaluation consisted of tons of tests, evaluating the Cosmic Crisp size, shape, color, crunchiness, juiciness, and tartness. The WSU team tests the ripeness of the apple, using iodine to determine the best time to harvest.
What it does is that iodine then it binds to the starch that's in the fruit. As the fruit ripens, that starch turns to sugar. And so when you've stained it with iodine and it's fully purple or black, that's showing that it's really immature, it's very starchy.
The lighter the flesh, the sweeter the apple.
See that juice? The juice inside makes it a pleasant thing to eat.
I can eat this all day.
There you go.
That's how you know. But with hundreds of consumer favorites already on the market, how can a new apple stand a chance?
It takes a big budget, takes a big industry, and it takes a big product. All those things have to come together.
The Cosmic Crisp has it all. Named for its galactic-looking skin, experts expect the apple to take over the industry. So far, Washington farmers have grown 12,000 acres of Cosmic Crisp trees, which falls in the middle of apple production for the state. And to catch up with its competitors, $10.5 million have already gone into marketing the apple, and it even has its own commercial. The variety will only be available to state-based growers for the first 10 years.
The growers, they deserve that advantage. They contributed to the research project, and so they have a 10-year head start.
The Cosmic Crisp hit the ground running on December 1st, with about 450,000 bushels for sale in the U.S. in produce aisles of stores like Walmart and Kroger's. It sells for about $3 to $5 a pound as a premium apple variety, which is more than twice the price of standard varieties like the Gala. But the apple's creators are confident the Cosmic Crisp is up for the challenge.
We want people to really enjoy apples, and we felt to have that happen, we had to give them better apples. We had to rise above Golden Delicious, Red Delicious, McIntosh. We had to have an apple that was a much better eating experience. So that was our goal.